Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Khan's Commerce Tutorial. I'm Hashim Ali Khan here. Presently we are discussing the subject cost accounting. Already three methods of costing we have completed. That is unit and output costing, job costing, contract costing. Now we are going to start the next topic, that next method of costing, that is process costing. So viewers, the students, already you are in touch, you are watching the videos of unit and output costing. You have seen all the problems we have done on job costing, contract costing, unit and output. If you are new to my channel, first time if you are watching my video, so go to the playlist, select the subject cost accounting or any other subject you want. I have uploaded many subjects like advanced accounting, financial accounting, corporate accounting, business statistics, financial management, investment management. So many subjects are in the playlist of my channel. So visit the playlist, select the subject you want, watch the complete video, get the command on the subject. So now I'm going to start the topic called process costing. This is a method of costing. First of all, we are going to discuss the introduction to process costing, features of process costing, then what are the process losses we are going to discuss. Then we'll start the problem. First of all, introduction to process costing. There are different methods of costing which are applied in different business houses. Because the nature of every business will be different, so we don't have a single method of costing which can be applied in all the businesses. We have separate costing methods. Unit and output costing, we have seen in which type of industries we can apply unit and output costing. Then we have discussed about job costing, in which nature of industry we apply job costing, contract costing. All these things we have discussed. Now process costing. It is a method of costing which is applied in those industries, those manufacturing concern where goods are produced in different stages of production. The finished product will be passed from different stages, then only we'll get the finished product. Example is, simple example I'll give you, sugar industry. In sugar industry, the main raw material is sugar cane. So sugar cane is purchased, and in the first process, first department, first stage, sugar cane will be crushed and juice will be extracted. Once juice is extracted, it will be passed on to the next stage, next process. There the juice, which is in liquid form, will be made as solid form, crystals. Crystals are made in the second process. Once crystal, it is solidified, then it will be passed on to the third process, where it will be crushed into small particles. Once small particles are prepared, then it will be passed on to the fourth stage. There it will be finished into minute particles. In this way we can see different stages of production are there. Ultimately sugar what we got from the fourth stage. So ऐसे इंडस्ट्रीज जहां पर गुड्स स्टेजेस में पास होकर प्रोड्यूस हो, there we apply process costing. So in this process costing, the output of one stage will become the input of the next stage. So we open accounts for each stage. Process 1 account, process 2 account, process 3 account, like that. And all expenditure incurred in the concerned process will be charged, will be debited to that process account. The costs are accumulated in each process account. Sometimes there may be some sale of scrap. That sale of scrap will be credited to the process account. It's an income to that process. The expenditure will debit the process account and incomes we credit. And ultimately the output of this process will be transferred to the next process. That means the costs are accumulated. The output of first process will become input of the second process. Again some costs are incurred in the second process. Then the output of second process will become input of the third process. Like that it goes on. So if the nature of the business is like this, then we apply process costing. Example of industries where this process costing can be applied are sugar industry and textile industry, paints, varnishes, this paints industry. So these type of industries where goods are manufactured in different stages, there we apply process costing. So we will open one account for each process So process 1, process 2, process 3. Now what are the features of this process costing? The first feature is continuous production. The goods are continuously produced. The goods are passed on from one stage to another stage. There is no interruption of the production. Second, products are standardized and homogeneous. The products which are produced are of the same nature. There is no differentiation in the production. All the products are of uniform quality, same, standardized. Third one, each process a cost center. In process costing, every process account will be treated as a cost center and all cost will be charged to that process account. तो जो भी एक्सपेंडिचर हो रहा है वो कंसर्न्ड प्रोसेस को चार्ज करेंगे. तो every process account will be treated as a cost center and all cost will be charged to that one. And to find out the cost per unit, we divide the total cost by number of units produced in that process. Then sequence of process. The sequence of process will be predetermined. In advance, it will be determined what are the different processes through which the production will pass through. That means the sequence is already determined in advance. Then output of one will be the input for the next process. One very important feature of this process costing is the output of one process will become input of the next process. Then the output of the next process will become input for the next process again. For example, 4 processes are there, A, B, C, D. The output of A will become input of B. The output of B will become input of C. The output of C will become input for D. And the output for D is the finished product because only 4 departments here. Then sold or transferred to next process. Sometimes the output of a particular process may be sold at there itself and some part may be transferred to next process. Normally what will happen, the whole output will be transferred to next process, but some industries are there where a part of the output will be sold and other part of the output will be transferred to the next process. Next one may be normal or abnormal loss. In the production, in process industry, there is a loss in production. That means there will be loss of units or wastage during production. Simple example, in sugar industry, the input is sugar cane. Suppose if we make an input of 100 tons of sugar cane, do you think that exactly 100 kilogram of sugar can be produced? No. During processing, there will be some wastage. There will be some loss in weight. So this loss in weight, wastage during processing is called losses. So normally in process industries there may be losses. Losses means the output will not be equal to input. The output may be less than input. Then maybe abnormal gain. It is not necessary that always there will be abnormal loss. There may be abnormal gain. Abnormal gain doesn't mean that output will be more than input. कभी ऐसा नहीं होगा 100 टन शुगर केन डाल रहे और 120 टन शुगर निकल रहा, ऐसा तो कभी नहीं होगा. द आउटपुट में बी इक्वल टू और लेस देन इनपुट. आउटपुट में बी equal to or less than input. The output will never be more than input. Then how come abnormal gain will arise? I'll discuss in the next topic. Then cost per unit can be determined. In process costing, we can easily find out what is the cost per unit at each stage by dividing the total cost by number of units produced in each process account, in each stage. So these are some of the features. If you are having the subject cost accounting examination, you have to write most frequently. They may ask you a theory question regarding what is explain the process costing and what are the features of process costing. So if you listen carefully this lecture, you can write in your own words. So what type of industries we apply process costing, give some examples and also give the features of process costing. Process losses. Just now I told you in many industries where process costing is applied, we observe there may be losses. Losses means input and output will not be equal. The output may be less than input. Those losses can be divided into normal loss and abnormal loss. Normal loss means the loss which is expected, which is anticipated in advance. पहले से मालूम है, एक्सपीरियंस के से मालूम है हमको कि आउटपुट कितना निकलेगा. Example, in case of sugar industry, the sugar producer already knows in advance that 10% of the input will be lost in processing. Lost in processing, that is according to experience. जितना इनपुट डाल रहे हैं उसका 10% लॉस हो जाएगा, आउटपुट 90% आएगा. एग्जाम्पल, 100 tons ऑफ शुगर केन इज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड, तो 100 tons का 10% 10 tons, तो 10 tons लॉस्ट हो जाएंगे. तो 100 minus 10, 90 tons. The output will be 90 tons. According to experience, according to past experience, sugar producer says if 100 tons are introduced, 90 tons sugar we can get. 10% is the loss. This loss is anticipated, inherent according to the nature of production, nature of material. Nothing can be done. It is unavoidable loss. It cannot be avoided. Definitely this loss will be there. This is called normal loss. Simple words. Normal loss is the expected loss, anticipated loss. That means according to experience, already it is determined in advance that this loss definitely will be there. It is unavoidable. So normal loss will be taken on the credit side of process account, and sometimes this normal loss will fetch some scrap value. That scrap value will be credited to process account. Now abnormal loss. Abnormal loss arises when actual loss is more than the normal loss. If actual loss is more than normal loss, it is called abnormal loss. Same example I'll give you to make you understand. If 100 tons of sugar cane is introduced, according to past experience, the producer says 10% is the loss. So 100 minus 10, 90 tons should be the output. Sugar production should be 90. But in a particular year, the actual production of sugar was only 85. तो actually 100 tons introduce करें तो 10 tons loss होना चाहिए, 90 tons output आना चाहिए. लेकिन 90 tons नहीं आया, 85 tons आया, 5 tons कम आया. तो excess loss जो हो गया उसको abnormal loss कहेंगे. तो नॉर्मली 10 tons का लॉस होना चाहिए, लेकिन 15 tons का लॉस हो गया ड्यूरिंग ए पर्टिकुलर पीरियड. दिस इज कॉल्ड 5 tons excess loss is called abnormal loss. Then why this abnormal loss may arise? Due to negligence of the worker, or due to bad plant design, due to bad setting, or substandard material defective आ गया, प्लांट की सेटिंग आउट हो गई, या नेग्लिजेंस ऑफ द वर्कर्स हो गया. Due to all these avoidable reasons, this abnormal loss is happening. So management can control this abnormal loss. Management control कर सकता by taking suitable steps. The management can be able to control the abnormal loss, but normal loss cannot be controlled because it is inherent according to the nature. Now abnormal gain, abnormal process gain. It is not at all necessary that always there will be abnormal loss. Sometimes there may be gain. Gain doesn't mean that output will be more than input. कभी ऐसा नहीं होगा कि input 100 tons डाल रहे हैं और output 120 tons निकल रहा. 100 टन शुगर केन डाल रहे हैं, 120 टन शुगर निकल रहा. ऐसा तो कभी हो ही नहीं सकता, पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. फिर गेन किसको कहते हैं? When actual loss is less than normal loss. When actual loss is less than normal loss. Example, according to past experience, 10% of input should be lost. According to experience. तो शुगर प्रोड्यूसर ये कह रहा है 100 टन शुगर केन डालेंगे तो 90 टन शुगर आना चाहिए according to past. But during a particular period, 92 tons sugar has been produced. निकलना कितना चाहिए? 90 टन होना चाहिए, मगर during a particular period 92 tons शुगर आ गया. तो 2 tons एक्स्ट्रा शुगर जो निकला उसको कहेंगे abnormal gain. नॉर्मल लॉस जो होना चाहिए 10 टन्स का लॉस होना चाहिए, लेकिन लॉस 10 टन्स नहीं हुआ, 8 टन्स लॉस हुआ. 8 टन्स का लॉस हुआ. 100 minus 8, 92 टन्स आउटपुट निकल गया. तो when the actual loss is less than the normal loss, it is called abnormal gain. So in order how to find out the value of abnormal loss and abnormal gain, I'll give you the formula to calculate value of abnormal gain and abnormal loss. Same formula will be used, only instead of abnormal loss we'll write abnormal gain. So value of abnormal loss is equal to normal cost divided by normal output into units of abnormal loss. Normal cost divided by normal output. How to calculate normal cost? Take the total of the debit side. Take the total of the debit side of process account minus incomes अगर है कोई sale of scrap वगैरह है तो that will be deducted. Take the total of the debit side minus any amount on the credit side, you'll get normal cost. Similarly, normal output, the input minus normal loss. The input minus normal loss, you'll get normal output. So normal cost divided by normal output into units of abnormal loss. This will give you abnormal value of abnormal loss. उसी तरह value of abnormal gain, normal cost by normal output into units of abnormal gain. तो entry for abnormal loss account data to process account. Abnormal loss account data to process account. तो process account के credit side by abnormal loss. Process account credit side by abnormal loss. Similarly, if there is abnormal gain, the entry for abnormal gain is process account data to abnormal gain. Process account data to abnormal gain. So process account will be debited to abnormal gain. That's it. So this is the brief explanation of process account. Now we'll start the problems on process accounts. So my viewers, again I am requesting you to make a printout of the problems from the link. I have given a link under my description. Go to the link, take a printout of the problems and keep it ready before solving the problem. Now I am starting the problems on cost accounting. First we'll solve the short problems. See the first short problem. Normal cost of normal output is 1 lakh. Normal cost of normal output is rupees 1 lakh. Normal output 5200 and abnormal loss 200 units. Abnormal loss 200 units. Normal cost 1 lakh rupees and normal output 5200 units. Find out the value of abnormal loss. This is the first problem. Simply it is asking you to find out the value of abnormal loss. Now see here. Problems on process costing, short problems. Value of abnormal loss is equal to normal cost by normal output into units of abnormal loss. Normal cost is given in the problem 1 lakh. Normal output 5200 into units is 200. So 3846.15. This is the value of abnormal loss. Now second problem. Calculate the cost of abnormal loss. Again, value of abnormal loss we have to find out from the figures given below. Normal output 9000 units. Normal output. Actual output 8500. Normal output जो निकलना चाहिए वो 9000 यूनिट्स है 9000 यूनिट्स है, लेकिन एक्चुअल आउटपुट जो निकला वो 8500 कम निकला. तो नॉर्मल abnormal loss is 500 units. Normal output 9000 units, actual output 8500 units. तो 9000 minus 8500, 500 units are abnormal loss. निकलना चाहिए 9000, actual निकला 8500. तो 500 units abnormal loss. Now value of abnormal loss is equal to normal cost by normal output into units of abnormal loss. Normal cost 27,000 given in the problem. Normal output 9000 units given normal output 9000 into units of abnormal loss 500. So what is the value of abnormal loss? 1500 is the value of abnormal loss. 3 problems we have completed. Now 2 problems we have completed. Now see the third problem. It's a short problem. Only practice how to calculate the value of abnormal loss. Now third one. From the following figures compute the value of abnormal gain. First 2 problems we have calculated abnormal loss. Now third problem abnormal gain. The formula will remain same. Value of abnormal gain is equal to normal cost by normal output into units of abnormal gain. So what is given? Normal loss 100 units, normal output 10,000 units, actual output 11,000 units. Normal output 10,000, actual output 11,000. 10,000 यूनिट निकलना चाहिए लेकिन एक्चुअली निकला है 11,000. 1,000 यूनिट ज्यादा निकल गया, तो वो 1,000 यूनिट जो एक्सेस आ गया उसको कहेंगे abnormal, units of abnormal gain. So here I have written actual output 11,000, normal output 10,000. तो units of abnormal gain are 1,000. 1,000 यूनिट ज्यादा निकल गया, abnormal gain. The value of abnormal gain is equal to normal cost by normal output into units of abnormal gain. Normal cost is given in the problem. Normal cost of normal output 20,000 rupees given in the problem. तो normal cost 20,000, normal output is 10,000 into units of abnormal gain is 1,000. The formula for value of abnormal loss and value of abnormal gain both are same. Simply only the difference is here we have to write down units of abnormal loss, here you have to write down units of abnormal gain. That's it. So 2,000 rupees is the value of abnormal gain. Now fourth problem. The following data are available with regard to production of product Z. Material put in the process 600 kilogram at rupees 4 per kg. तो एक प्रोसेस में 600 किलोग्राम मटेरियल डाले, 1 किलोग्राम 4 रुपीस का है, तो 6 4 24, 2400 रुपीस मटेरियल वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. कॉस्ट ऑफ लेबर 600, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड 300. तो ये प्रॉब्लम में हमको प्रोसेस अकाउंट बनाना है. वी हैव टू मेक द प्रोसेस अकाउंट. तो एक्सपेंडिचर मटेरियल 2400, लेबर 600, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ओवरहेड 300. द नॉर्मल लॉस इन द प्रोसेस हैज बीन एस्टिमेटेड 10%. तो जितना इनपुट डाल रहे हैं, जितने किलोग्राम इनपुट डाल रहे हैं, उसका 10% नॉर्मल लॉस, एंड हाफ ऑफ विच कैन बी सोल्ड एज स्क्रैप फॉर ₹2 per kg. तो जितना नॉर्मल लॉस हुआ उसके आधा हाफ इज सोल्ड एट ₹2 per kilogram. द एक्चुअल प्रोडक्शन obtained from the process is 560 kilogram. Actual output given. When the input and actual output is given, definitely there may be abnormal loss or abnormal gain. जब इनपुट और आउटपुट दोनों भी दे दिया तो दोनों को कंपेयर करके मालूम करना कि abnormal loss है या abnormal gain है. Prepare the process account showing the cost per kilogram of the output. We are required to make the process account. Now carefully you see, it's a little bit difficult compared to the previous problem. Process account. Debit side 2 columns, particular kilogram amount. This is a quantity. Quantity amount. Here also particulars kilogram amount. Debit side we take all expenditure to material. It is given in the problem material introduced 600 kilogram. So kg column 600 and the rate of material is 4 rupees. So 600 into 4, 2400 worth of material was introduced. Labor 600, manufacturing overhead 300. These three items are given in the problem. Now come to credit side. By normal loss, it is given in the problem 10% of the input is lost. How much is the input here? 600. So 600 का 10% 60 kilogram. 60 kilogram is the normal loss. 10% of input given in the problem. And one more thing is given, half of the normal loss will have a scrap value. Half of the normal loss is sold at a scrap value at ₹2 per kilogram. So how many units, how many kilogram is the normal loss? 60. 60 का half 30 kilogram are sold. So by sale of scrap 30 kilogram into 2 rupees. तो 60 rupees in the amount column. ये इनकम है. ये प्रोसेस में 60 रुपीस का इनकम हो रहा. जो नॉर्मल लॉस 60 किलोग्राम हो रहा उसको स्क्रैप में बेच रहे, मगर पूरा नहीं बेच रहे. हाफ ऑफ द नॉर्मल लॉस. हाफ मींस 30 किलोग्राम इंटू 2 रुपीज, 60 रुपीज अमाउंट कॉलम. तो 60 रुपीज किलोग्राम, 60 किलोग्राम एंड 60 रुपीज द अमाउंट. नाउ फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट. Finished product is given 560. It is given in the problem. Output. Actual output is 560 kilogram. This is the finished stock. Now we have to find out whether there is abnormal loss or abnormal gain. Now see, how many kilogram is the input? 600. How much is the normal loss? 60. So 600 minus 60. 600 minus 60. You will get 540. तो 540 किलोग्राम आउटपुट आना चाहिए. 600 minus 60 is 540. 540 should be the output, but actual output is given in the problem 560. 540 आना चाहिए लेकिन 560 आ गया, तो 20 किलोग्राम ज्यादा आ गया. तो that excess 20 kilogram is called abnormal gain. Instead of 540 we got 560. In the problem it is given 560. So there is abnormal gain. Abnormal gain should be taken on the debit side. Entry will be process account data to abnormal gain account. तो process को debit करेंगे to abnormal gain 20 kilogram. Abnormal gain 20 kilogram. Working note, we have to find out what is the value of this abnormal gain. Here, value of abnormal gain is equal to normal cost by normal output into units of abnormal gain. Same formula. Normal cost. To find out the normal cost, take the total of the expenditure. What are the expenditure? 2400 plus 600 plus 300. ये तीन expenditure है. 2400 plus 600 plus 300. ये एक्सपेंडिचर, और इनकम कितनी हो रही 60 रुपीज का इनकम भी है, इनकम को माइनस कर देंगे तो 2400 प्लस 600 प्लस 300 माइनस 60 रुपीज, यहां है 2400 प्लस 600 प्लस 300 माइनस 60, 3240 इज द नॉर्मल कॉस्ट। सिमिलरली नॉर्मल आउटपुट का मतलब इनपुट माइनस नॉर्मल लॉस इन यूनिट्स, इनपुट माइनस नॉर्मल लॉस इन यूनिट्स। इनपुट कितने किलोग्राम है 600 और नॉर्मल लॉस 60, तो 600 माइनस 60 इज 540, तो 540 इज द नॉर्मल आउटपुट और नॉर्मल कॉस्ट कितना है 3240, तो वैल्यू ऑफ एबनॉर्मल गेन इज इक्वल टू 3240 नॉर्मल कॉस्ट and normal output is 540 into 20. 120 rupees is the value of abnormal gain. Value of abnormal gain 120 rupees. Now take 120 rupees here. So 20 kilogram 120 rupees. Now take the total. 600 plus 20 620. Here also 60 plus 560 620. Now take the total of the debit side. Debit side का पूरा total कर देंगे तो 3420. We are getting 3420. ये 3420 minus 60, 3420 minus 60, you are getting balancing figure 3360. 3360 is the total cost in this process. How many kilogram is produced 560, तो divide कर देंगे 3360 divided by 560, you are getting 6 rupees per unit. तो finish to stock account, we assume there is no other process, directly we are passing on to finish to stock. That's why we are writing finish to stock account. So 3360 divided by 560, you will get 6 rupees per kilogram. That's it. This is the end of problem number 4. So we have completed the theoretical part as well as short problems of this process accounts. Hope you are satisfied regarding the lecture. If you are satisfied, give a like to this video, share it in your group, subscribe my channel. We'll continue the main problems in the next video, inshallah.